Hi, I'm Erica Atkinson.
And I'm Alex Gay. Welcome to the Monday Night Roar.
We have your latest Clemson news, entertainment, and sports.
All that and more coming up on the Monday Night Roar. Last Thursday, 2 puppy sisters were stolen from the Greenville Humane Society. According to officials, one of the suspects of the dog napping had previously tried to adopt a puppy, but was denied on account of not having a fixed address. The suspect then tried to have a friend adopt the dog, but when that failed as well, he distracted the adoption manager while his accomplice took the young dogs, one from another customer's arms. One sister was recovered Friday and the other Saturday, leading to a happy puppy reunion.
Last week, Clemson University economics students traveled to the nation's capital for the National Collegiate Fiscal Challenge on Capitol Hill. This is the nation's first ever fiscal challenge in Washington. Students were asked to produce a budget plan that stabilized the federal debt to gross domestic product ratio over a 25-year period so that debt would equal to 72 to 74% of GDP by 2039. Clemson's team's proposal won first place against 3 other schools from North Carolina. Members of the team included 4 seniors and 1 junior. The team's advisor, John E. Walker, was extremely pleased with the team and claimed that the team had been meeting 3 days a week since January. The judges were a group of 4 federal budget experts that are associated with major Washington think tanks. The budget plans were submitted anonymously so that there would be no bias in judging. Clemson's winning proposal was described by one of the event coordinators as a nice balance between spending cuts and tax increases, and that Clemson's advocacy of supply-side changes to stimulate growth and their supports for structural reforms to budget process itself really set them apart. Our Tigers really did a great job. Congratulations to the team and its advisor.
A recent collaboration between researchers at Clemson University and at Germany's Leibniz Institute for Age Research could soon teach the scientific community a lot about the aging process. The subject of the study is the unassuming killifish. While it might seem like humans and killifish have very little in common, the killifish actually ages similarly to the way humans age. Clemson and Leibniz researchers cloned the genetic material and organized it in such a way that it can be easily studied. Researchers have already begun to find the regions in the DNA that relate to the killifish's lifespan, which may, in turn, help us learn about the way that humans age as well.
This week at the Brooks Center marks the end of their student performance concert series. On Tuesday, the CU Singers will perform at 8 p.m. The CU Singers are an elite group of mixed voice ensemble of selected students across all academic majors. This is Clemson's premier choral ensemble, and they perform all styles and genres. The other performance this week is the CU Percussion Ensemble and CU Steel Band on Friday, April 24th at 8 p.m. The Percussion Ensemble features contemporary drumming and percussion from around the world, while the Steel Band performs soca and calypso tunes in addition to classical pop and Latin arrangements. These are both sure to be phenomenal student performances, so make sure you go out and support your fellow Tigers. To get tickets, call 864-656-3043, visit the Brooks Center website, www.clemson.edu/Brooks, or visit the box office located in the lobby of the Brooks Center, Monday through Friday between 1 and 5 p.m. Now here's Freddie with the Showtimes.
Hey, and welcome back to Showtimes. We provide you with all the important movie news from the couch to the theater. We cover movies coming to Redbox, theaters, Netflix, and Amazon Prime. This week, Redbox has Unbroken for the history buffs and Hobbit, The Battle of Five Armies for the fantasy ones. Amazon has Noah this week in case you missed it on Netflix last week. And on Netflix, a week from today, you can find the original National Treasure movie in case you want to procrastinate for finals. In theaters this week, if you feel like crying, is Little Boy, about a little boy during World War II who just wants his dad to come home. Out already is the creepy-looking Unfriended, which follows a group chat of some kids that includes the haunted account of their dead friend. Also out is Child 44, featuring a star-studded cast of Tom Hardy, Gary Oldman, and produced by Ridley Scott, and is getting average reviews. Also, I've failed to mention it before, but Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 is out now and has a solid 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Thank you for tuning in this year. I hope you have a wonderful summer and watch next semester for more updates. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Freddie. Yesterday marked the beginning of Greenville's second annual Craft Beer Week celebration. This year, restaurants and bars all around Greenville will celebrate local upstate breweries. Events range from food and beer specials to disc golf to canvas painting. If you consider yourself a beer enthusiast, head over to Greenville to enjoy craft beers and support local businesses at the same time. Visit the Greenville Craft Beer Week website for a full schedule of events.
Last Thursday evening, the Clemson men's basketball team officially announced their partnership with the Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. The coach of the men's basketball team, Brad Brownwell, as well as the Clemson athletic director, Dan Ratkovich, were in attendance. The team must play here during their 2015-2016 season, while Little John Coliseum is undergoing major renovation. The two both see Greenville as an opportunity for the program to grow, and they believe it will help expand their fan base because many Clemson alumni live in Greenville. According to President Clements, there are 14,000 Clemson alumni living in Greenville and 3,000 Clemson students. Radkovich believes that the move to Greenville can help get those alumni and students hooked on Clemson basketball.
Last week, Clemson broke ground in its International Center for Automotive Research, or CU-ICAR facility, for a two-story, 3,000-square-foot addition. CU-ICAR near Greenville is home to Clemson University's Automotive Engineering Department and conducts research in areas such as sustainability, intelligent manufacturing systems, and advanced materials. The new addition, the Advanced Powertrain Testing Laboratory, will allow the center to test non-conventional powertrains such as clean engine concepts, hybrid electrics, and alternative fuels. Construction completion of the Advanced Powertrain Testing Laboratory is expected by November this year.
Saturday, April 18th, marks the beginning of #Pride Week 15. This week includes events designed to bring all students together, no matter how they identify themselves. The week includes everything from lectures to dance parties and puts a focus on personal pride, as well as inviting others to experience and understand the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, and queer community. Saturday night was the drag show in Tillman Hall to emphasize pride, because anyone who's willing to do a drag show clearly has to have a lot of self-confidence and pride. The show had queens as well as student performers and was one of the biggest LGBTQ culture events ever at Clemson. Earlier today was the Pride photo shoot. Tomorrow's event is Being Out at Work, which focuses on sexuality and gender identity in the workplace. Tuesday night will be Hendrix Ballroom A, will be a keynote speaker, Skylar Carrigal, discussing his experience as a transgendered college student. Next, let's check in with John Oliver for the latest in entertainment news.
Congratulations to Joan Jett for being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The rocker was inducted this past weekend in Cleveland. Miley Cyrus gave quite the performance at the event. The pop singer performed wearing a leather cutout dress and pasties. Cyrus sang a cover of Crimson and Clover with Jett. Jett is best known for her work as the rocker in the band The Runaways. Ben Powers, one of the leading men in the show Good Times, died April 6 at the age of 64. The family has not yet released the cause of death. Powers was best known as Thelma's husband in the TV series. Many celebrities, including his on-screen wife, have expressed their condolences to the Powers family. Interested in purchasing one of Scarlett O'Hara's dresses? Well, you're too late. This past weekend, one of O'Hara's dresses sold for $137,000 at auction. Even more impressive, over 150 other items from Gone with the Wind were also sold. My question is, where do you wear a dress like that? Like maybe to a 1930s-inspired cocktail party? Talk about drama. Kim Richards, one of the stars of The Housewives of Beverly Hills, may be fired after being arrested in Beverly Hills. The former child star locked herself in the restroom of the Beverly Hills Polo Club and refused to leave. Once the police were called, the reality star resisted arrest. The charges brought up against Richards include suspicion of police intoxication, trespassing, resisting a police officer, and battery of an officer. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has yet to be renewed for another season. Congratulations to Beyonce's mom, Tina, who married her longtime boyfriend, actor Richard Lawson. The two married in a quiet ceremony amongst close family and friends. If you're interested in the Queen Bee's whereabouts, then check out her Instagram page, where the Grammy singer posted a video of her and her husband, Jay-Z, enjoying the Hawaiian weather. Have a great summer and see you next fall. Hashtag back to you.
Thanks, John Oliver. If you love to travel but don't often have the opportunity to, travel no further than Clemson's own Bowman Field Sunday, April 26th to experience the food and culture of more than 20 nations in the 25th Annual International Festival. Delayed by rather damp weather yesterday, the International Festival had to be pushed back a week, but this Sunday, the outlook looks brighter. International student volunteers will man stations all around Bowman to provide visitors with a glimpse of their home nation's culture. Admission to the festival is free, and everyone is invited to attend.
Parents all over the U.S. are opting out of student standardized testing. The number of parents who chose not to make their children take standardized state testing has increased greatly over the past few years. One parent says that only two children in her daughter's Long Island School's third grade class took the test this past year, which means that 20 of her classmates did not take it. One of the groups leading to opt out of the movement, the New York State Allies for Public Education, 156,000 students refused to take last week's English exam, and that's with just 50% of the districts reporting their numbers. At this rate, it seems that at least 14% of students will sit out this year. Parents hope that these numbers will push the legislature to reduce high-stakes testing. New York is not the only area that has seen this fallout in rigorous testing. Similar instances have been seen in Georgia, New Jersey, and Indiana.
Late last week, 6 buffaloes escaped from a farm near Hot Springs, Arkansas, and began to wander around the neighborhoods of the town of 35,000 people. One buffalo was reportedly hit by a car, and 3 more were tranquilized in a field to attract the remaining 2. As of Friday, the 2 remaining buffaloes were still on the loose.
Millions of jellyfish are washing up on the West Coast beaches and giving beachgoers a reason to watch their steps. These jellyfish are bluish purple in color and have been identified as the vela vela. They are known to invade in the spring, even though their body design usually keeps them out of sight by allowing them to sail away from shore. Some beachgoers even describe these jellyfish as really gooey and almost looking like mussels from a distance. They have a sail fin that has a slight bend to it that helps them curve again from the beach and stay off the beaches, but due to the westerly wind that has recently had a collision with the course with land. Once they get caught in this wind, they have no chance of surviving. Their sting cells are harmless to humans, but you should not rub your eyes or put your finger in your mouth after handling this kind of a jellyfish. Now here's Gabby with this week's sports news.
Hello, everyone. Here's your sports. Clemson men's golf team placed second this past weekend at Yale. It was the final regular season tournament for the Tigers. Billy Kennerly for the Tigers had a top performance, shooting a final round of 71 to help put the Tigers at second at the Yale Spring Invitational. Other big performers were Billy Kennerly with a score of 210 of his 54 holes. Austin Langdale had the best performance, shooting 3 consecutive scores of 72. The Tigers will play in the ACC tournament in North Carolina next weekend. The Clemson men's baseball team was scheduled to play Duke in a weekend-long tournament, but due to weather conditions, Friday and Sunday's game was rained out. The Tigers did play Saturday and defeated the Blue Devils 6-2. Crownover gave up just 5 hits, 2 runs, and 3 walks. He ended with 7 strikeouts. Tyler Krieger also had a good game, getting a 2-run single in the bottom of the third. Other scores for the Tigers were Chris Oakey with a run-scoring single and Chase Pender with a 2-run double. For your other sports, the RBC Heritage was held this past weekend over the Harbortown Golf Links. The world's top golfers, including 2015 Masters champ Jordan Spieth, made their appearances at the tournament. Jim Furyk won for the second time of his career. Furyk finished -18 after battling with Kevin Kistner, who was also -18. Furyk finished with a score of 63 and Kistner with a score of 64. Jordan Spieth finished -10 under. Well, the NFL has some interesting news to share. As most of you thought Tim Tebow's NFL career was over, Chip Kelly has another thing coming for you. Former Heisman Trophy winner signed with the Philadelphia Eagles today. The New England Patriots recently released Tebow, which had many thinking he concluded his NFL career. But that all changed when the Eagles invited Tebow to a workout. Tim Tebow is now given his second chance in the NFL. That's all I have for your sports. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, Gabby. This Friday marks the 25th anniversary of the Hubble Space Telescope. NASA is spending this week looking back on 25 years of discoveries and celebrating all of the knowledge of the universe gained because of the world's first space telescope. In addition to NASA TV video streams, images captured by Hubble over the years will be broadcast in Times Square in New York all week. There is also an IMAX film, Hubble 3D, airing in select theaters throughout April that follows Hubble through its 25 years of service. In addition to celebrating Earth Day on Wednesday, don't forget to have a small celebration for Hubble on Friday.
President Obama and Cuban President Raul Castro met on Saturday, April 11, 2015, and that is the first time Cuban and American presidents have held a substantial meeting since 1958. They discussed expanding their relations in the future and removing Cuba from the Americans' terror list. This, in turn, would ease its ability to conduct simple financial transactions. To help financial progress, Obama is chipping away the U.S. embargo it has on Cuba. This would open up trade between the two countries. Obama wasn't even born when the first embargo on Cuba was first put into place. The two leaders will have more meetings in the near future and hopefully rebuild the relationship.
It's no question that there are some rather strange records in the Guinness Book of World Records. For example, last week, chefs of Bosnia and Herzegovina attempted to set a new record for the largest chicken stew. Around 100 Bosnian chefs and volunteers used over a ton of chicken and more than 600 pounds of vegetables to prepare the traditional dish. The stew was cooked for 8 hours in a huge pot more than 3 feet tall and is expected to feed around 14,000 people. Some of the stew was served to residents and spectators, and the rest will be given to soup kitchens to help feed the hungry.
Late Saturday night, a distress call was made by a boat whose passengers included men, women, and children hoping to make the voyage from Libya to Europe. They sent out the distress call in the dark of night when the boat is thought to have been located in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea. The boat was 20 meters long and is thought to have been packed with about 700 people. As rescuers approached the movement to one side of the boat, it is thought that this is actually what made the boat capsize and force crowds into the frigid water. So far, only 50 of the 700 have been saved. While the shipwreck was an accident, human traffickers facilitate the trips like this that risk people's lives by putting them on these ships. The United Nations Commissioner for Refugees said that this incident could be worse than the incident last weekend in which 400 refugees and migrants died in the Mediterranean.
The latest SpaceX Dragon capsule has docked with the International Space Station with its supplies for the crew of Expedition 43 as of this weekend. In addition to the crew supplies, the Dragon capsule also carried new science equipment and the station's first espresso machine, dubbed the IS Espresso. Now the crew aboard the ISS can enjoy their espressos, teas, and other hot beverages in microgravity. Lastly, here's James with our latest weather updates.
Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at your weather for the rest of the week. This week is going to be pretty nice as we're going to see highs in the mid to upper 70s and lows in the mid 50s. Not much of a chance for rain this week. It is great since it rained all last week. Rain totals about 5 inches for the week. A little bit of rain this week, though, on Saturday at 80%, but that is all we should see. Clear and sunny skies for this week. Taking a look outside your window right now, it is 68 degrees, pretty cool. Partly cloudy since it just rained, winds out of the west at 8 miles per hour and humidity of about 62%. So it is fairly humid outside due to the rainstorms. Not much left on your radar, a few residual storms from this afternoon, but that's it. A couple tornadoes hit Aiken a little bit earlier this afternoon, so keep them in your thoughts. And now 2 bed bugs got engaged in my mattress last night. They said they were going to get married in the spring. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, James. That's all for tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Be sure to like our Clemson page and follow us on Twitter. Have a great evening, Clemson, and we'll see you next semester.